Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, Jay Briggs here from Pickdawgz.com, bringing y'all my NBA Jam session on February 3rd, 2023, man. If you're looking for more of this great content, y'all know what to do. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and drop your like down in the comments. As you know, I love going through, seeing who y'all like. If you're looking for my best bets, the ones that I'm placing tonight, and best bets from the top handicappers on the planet, man, check us out over at Pickdawgz.com and click that premium picks tab. If you're looking for my $15 NBA Jam session play, my best bet in the NBA every night, man, click that link in the description. It'll take you right to my handicapper page, man. And my feature play every day is my $15 NBA Jam session play, man. We had a winner last night with the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. What a game that was. Dylan Brooks, Donovan Mitchell scrapping underneath the basket. Got ejected, man, but we still came out with the win, and now and Cleveland continues to be dominant on their home floor. Memphis continues to really struggle out on the road. I think they've lost like 6 or 7 straight road games. The Grizzlies have. Hey, it was a great spot to take Cleveland in that one. We want to keep that momentum rolling forward into tonight, man. Start the weekend off on a high note. We've smashed the weekends over the last month or so, man. We've had a really good weekend run. We want to try to continue that and start that here tonight, man. Make sure y'all are following me on Twitter at ParlayGuyJ, as that's where I update y'all on late injury news. Let y'all know if my mind changes due to late information coming out of the association, man. Also drop free plays over there, free parlays occasionally, man. So I think I'm a great follow, man. Follow me over there on Twitter, man. 8-game card tonight in the NBA. We want to smash it per usual, man. So without further ado, man, I'm done yakking to y'all. Let's make some money tonight, and let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. In our first matchup of the night, man, we got two bottom feeder teams in the NBA, in the Charlotte Hornets and the Detroit Pistons. Pistons are at home here in this one, laying 1.5, total 241.5. And to begin our day, man, I am going to take the Pistons and lay the 1.5. They're the more rested team, and they're at home here in this one. I think it's just a better spot for them than the Hornets. The Pistons, their last game they played was on the 30th of January against my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks. I was actually at that game. The Pistons had another game scheduled after that, but they got canceled. It got canceled due to the Pistons getting stuck here in Dallas due to a really bad ice storm. So the Pistons are the more rested team, and I think that actually plays into their advantage here tonight at home on their home floor against Charlotte, who just played last night. Charlotte's on a back-to-back after losing in Chicago last night pretty handedly, 114-98. I was on Charlotte in that game. Thought they could keep it competitive, and they did for majority of it. Failed to cover there in the end, though. We've already seen this Pistons team beat the Charlotte Hornets team once this season, 141-134 on the 14th of December. That game did go to overtime. I just like what I've seen from the Pistons in their last one. Like I said, I was in attendance for that one against my Mavericks, and they were winning majority of that game. They're really winning all the way into the fourth quarter when the Mavs came back and got them. A huge game from Luka now on 53 points, but I think Detroit can return home here in this one and get themselves a home win, especially if they're a more rested team. They, like I said, I kind of like what I've seen from them in their last game. Charlotte looks like they're starting to hit that Charlotte rut again. They had 1-2 straight against Chicago and Miami, but now they got beaten handedly in back-to-back games. Don't like the spot at all for the Hornets, man. Third straight road game on a back-to-back. I'm going to take the Pistons in this one. I'll lay the 1.5. It's only a bucket, so I definitely think they can get this one done on their home floor here tonight. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got one of our favorite money-making teams, the Sacramento Kings. They're out on the road facing the Indiana Pacers, laying 2.5, total 241.5 here in this one. The Kings, man, this is going to be their fourth straight road game. They did win the last two against the San Antonio Spurs, 119-109, and against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 118-111. The game before that, they lost to Minnesota, 117-110. Fourth straight road game. They did nail this Pacers team earlier in the season, 137-114. Y'all know we love taking Sacramento, man. They're one of our favorite money-making teams, man. But here tonight, I think it's a good spot to fade them. I kind of like the Pacers a lot here. Plus the 2.5. I know they're on a back-to-back, man. I know they've been terrible over the last 10, 15 games or so, but I think it's time to throw all that out the window. And we kind of got a glimpse of that last night, man. This is a totally different team with Tyrese Halliburton in the lineup, man. And he, as I've been saying all season, both my guys got in. I was really excited to see that, man. Halliburton made the All-Star game. Shai Gilgeous made the All-Star game. Both of them well-deserved. Two guards that I think don't get the credit that they deserve, but their teams definitely run through them, man, and they're playing at an elite level of basketball right now. And we seen that last night with this Pacers team as they kept it really competitive with the Lakers last night. They did fall short, losing that one 112-111. But here tonight at home, man, think they get this one done. This is a different team with him in the lineup. He's the whole engine for this team. And I think they pull this one out tonight, man. Me personally, I'm taking the Pacers here in this one tonight. I know the Kings are one of our favorite money-making teams, but I don't like the spot at all for them 4 straight road game. I think it's time for a little regression. We know we love taking the Kings at home. On the road, they've been money-making team as well, but I don't like the spot for them in this one. I think the Pacers show up tonight on this Friday night, and I honestly think the Pacers win this one outright. I'll probably take the 2.5 in my back pocket, though, as I've been burnt on a few money lines. Hence last night, if I just would have took the points with the Clippers, we would have had a green ticket. We took them on the money line. Up, what were they up, like 20 to 30? How do you lose that game? But I don't know, bro. So I'm going to take the Pacers plus the 2.5 in this one. Not going to overcomplicate it. The 2.5 has been looming large here recently in the NBA. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Portland Trailblazers out on the road facing the Washington Wizards. Wizards laying 4 in this one, total 236. Now, this is going to contradict what I just said in the last segment. I just was talking about taking the points because they really matter. Forget that here in this one, man. We're taking the Blazers on the money line here in this one. They're going to win this game outright. I'm confident in that. The Wizards, come on now, winning 7 straight games or 8 straight games. This is not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And we got to look at this really objectively. The Wizards have not played nobody in this stretch, man. So, of course, they went on this little run. Tonight, a step up in class. They lose on their home floor, man. They beat up on San Antonio. Okay. They beat up on New Orleans. They've really been struggling. They've lost 10 straight games, so, They beat up on Houston, a bottom feeder team in the NBA. They beat my Mavericks 127-126. That is a good win. And they beat the Magic 138-118. Those are their 5 last games. Only 2 of those teams are going to make the playoffs. And the Pelicans, they're free-falling right now. So I'm really not totally in love with what I've seen from the Wizards here recently. I will give them credit, man. They are playing good basketball. They're now only 2 games under 500. But let's not confuse ourselves. The Blazers are the best team in this game. Damian Lillard is the best player on the floor here in this one. If they're going to give me plus 152 on the money line, they're going to give me a win and a half. That's how I look at it. They're going to give me a win and a half with the Blazers. I'm going to take it. I think the Blazers win this game outright. Not a believer in this Wizards team. I know they've been playing good basketball, but we just went through it. They really haven't played anybody. This is a definite step up in class. And if you're asking me, do I think the Wizards go on an 8-game winning streak? I do not. Give me the Blazers on the money line. They win this game outright here tonight. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Phoenix Suns out on the road facing the best team in basketball right now, in my opinion, the Boston Celtics, man. They're laying 9.5 at home, total 241.5. And we lay it here with the Celtics on their home floor, man. Don't overcomplicate this one. I know they've been terrible over the last 8 games against the spread. I think they're like 1-7 against the spread in their last 8. But they get this one done here tonight, man. We just seen them absolutely take the Nets behind the shed. Last time we seen them, I told y'all that they were going to do that in that game, as Boston always, and I mean always, beats up on the Nets, man. Here tonight, I think they do it again to the Suns, man. They're at home. We've already seen the Celtics nail the Suns once already this season, 125-98 in Phoenix, where Phoenix never really gets hammered at home, but they did, man, and now we're in Boston. Boston has won 2 straight. That long cover streak is over. Boston is back in that mode, man. Like I said, still the best team in basketball right now, in my opinion. And I think they win this game here tonight really convincingly. We just saw the Suns get hammered at home. I guess Suns do get hammered at home sometimes, but they just got hammered at home by the Atlanta Hawks, 132-100. A 32-point loss for the Suns at home. Wow. That's just wow. They've won 3 of their last 5, though. I will give them some credit. They were playing good basketball. But no, they're on the road tonight in Boston, where Boston has been really dominant. Only way I can look in this game is Boston. Boston just won their last game by 40. The Suns just lost their last game by 30. Suns are on the road facing the best team in basketball. I can't look in the Suns' direction. Celtics are nothing for me here in this matchup tonight. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Toronto Raptors out on the road facing the Houston Rockets. Toronto road favorites in this one, laying 7.5, total 225. Come on now, bro. We are not laying 7.5 with the Raptors on the road, bro. I don't know what the books had going on in this one. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be dead wrong in this one, but I'm not laying 7.5 with the Raptors on the road, brother. 8-18 out on the road, straight up. They have only won 8 games on the road all season. Now you want me to lay 8 points? No, sir. Not me. It's also a terrible spot for the Toronto Raptors in this game, as this is going to be their 6th straight road game, man. They just played 5 straight road games. They only won 2 of those. Those 2 wins came against Sacramento and Portland. They lost to Utah, Phoenix, and Golden State, all out on the road, man. This is not a good spot for this Raptors team, man. I definitely think the Rockets can keep this one competitive. We've seen the Rockets actually play good basketball here recently. The Rockets have won 3 of their last 5, including 2 back-to-back wins, man. They just beat our favorite money-making team in the NBA this season, man, outright in the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies, man, the cover buddies, the best cover team in the NBA. 112-106 was the final score in that game. Houston just has the number on OKC, man. I think they beat them like 5 straight times. That's something to look at moving forward. But they also beat the Detroit Pistons the game before that, 117-114, and their other win in that span came against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 119-114. We have seen these 2 teams face off this season once already. The Raptors did win that game, 116-109. That game was in Toronto, though, and the score in that one was, the date of that one was the November 9th. Like I said, man, 6 straight road game for the Raptors, man. I'm not laying 8 points with a team that only has 8 wins on the road all season. The Raptors, no, sir, I can't do it, man. They've only won 2 of their last 5 games, 6 straight road game. The Rockets have won back-to-back games. I think we grab the points with the Rockets here in this one. And quite honestly, I would not be surprised if the Rockets win this game outright. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Orlando Magic out on the road facing the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota laying 5 in this one, total 229. It's a tough one for me, honestly. Y'all know I love betting the Magic. I have a personal vendetta against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I've gave them the nickname that I think is kind of catching on. The House of Disappointment are the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's their nickname. But hey, we took the Minnesota Timberwolves, aka the House of Disappointment, in their last game against the Golden State Warriors. We took them on the money line, matter of fact, and they got the job done. And it's kind of time to stop hating on Minnesota, man. I've kind of said that in the last video as well. As Minnesota has started to play better basketball, man. They've won 4 of their last 5. And I like the spot for them here in this one as well, man. We're going to take the Timberwolves, lay the 5 here in this one. This is going to be their 5th straight home game. I think they get this one done. Like I said, they've been playing really good basketball. I don't like the spot for Orlando either. It's going to be their 4th road game in the last 5 games. They played a pretty tough schedule here recently as well. Philadelphia back-to-back, Miami, Chicago. We like taking the Magic. Most of that is at home. No, I just don't like the spot for them here in this one. And the Timberwolves, they got a little motivation here in this one, as Anthony Edwards was an all-star snub, man. He's been playing at that level, man, keeping his team right here at 500. The argument definitely could have been made that he should have made it. He didn't. He might come out tonight with blood in his eyes and take all that frustration out on this Orlando Magic team. The side for me here in this one is the T-Wolves, just playing the much better basketball right now. They're at home where they've been playing really dominant basketball. Don't like the spot for Orlando. I think my guy Edwards comes out tonight on fire. Give me the T-Wolves. Lay the 5. If you don't want to lay the 5 with the T-Wolves, I get it. Hey, they are still the House of Disappointment. And they're called that because whenever we need them, they usually don't show up. But I think tonight they show up. They showed up for us in our last one against Golden State. Think they show up again here tonight, man. Taking the Wolves. Lay the 5. If you don't want to lay the 5, I can see you take them on the money line. I really think they win this game outright. Maybe putting in some money line parlays or something like that. But for me, I like the T-Wolves here tonight. I'm going to lay the 5 here in this one. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Philadelphia 76ers out on the road facing the San Antonio Spurs. Philly laying 9.5 in this one, total 235.5. Now, this is a tough one for me. I'm probably not going to bet this game. I know for some of y'all are probably going to say it's easy. It's not. But I can see why you would say that. Yeah, I know a lot of y'all are just going to take Philly, lay the 9.5. I do lean in that direction. My gut wants me to take the Spurs in this game. If I'm going to be honest, my gut really wants me to take the Spurs plus the 9.5. The Sixers are just not the same juggernaut out on the road as they are at home, and I just don't see this as a blowout spot for them to come in here and blow out the San Antonio Spurs. But in that same breath, man, they just did snub my guy James Harden from the All-Star game, man. And do I want to fade the 76ers the game after that? I do not. So, again, I'm probably going to stay away. And that alone probably would have me betting the Sixers, but my gut has such a heavy feeling on the Spurs, I'm just going to stay away. just going to leave this game alone in its entirety. We do not have to bet every game on the board, as I tell y'all all the time, man. And this one is just one I'd just rather stay away. Hence, like we stayed away from that Mavericks game yesterday. It was just a stay away. I told y'all that game was going to be extra janky, bro. And that's exactly what it was. The Mavs were up, 40? 30? Luka goes down. And I see the worst shooting performance I've ever seen in my life from Tim Hardaway Jr. to close out that game. And I know a few of my friends that had like Mavs laying 4.5, so they barely got lucky. But I also know a few that had 5, and I know some of y'all had Mavs laying 5 as well. Terrible beat. That's almost as worse as my Clippers loss last night on the money line. But I think this is just another game where we stay away, in my opinion. I do lean 76ers, man. James Harden after the All-Star snub. I can see him coming, having a vintage performance, 40-point game. The Sixers, we know, they might be playing the best basketball in the NBA right now. They really might be, man. And the Spurs did beat the Sixers earlier this season, 114-105 on the 22nd of October, man. So the Sixers working with revenge as well. That game was in Philadelphia. My gut wants me to take the Spurs. The Sixers, though, they're just too hot right now. They actually have a reason to play tonight, or at least James Harden does. Probably just going to stay away from me here in this one tonight. In our last and final matchup of the night, man, we got the Atlanta Hawks out on the road facing the Utah Jazz. Jazz laying 1.5 here in this one, total 242. I do think this line is super efficient, right where it should be. The Jazz laying 1.5. This is a 50-50 type game, in my opinion, meaning I could see either one of these teams winning this game straight up, man. I think this line is right where it should be. If I were to lean anywhere, though, it would be the Jazz, as I do like the spot much better for them than I do for the Atlanta Hawks. The Jazz are at home where they've played their best basketball all season. We've made good money betting the Jazz at home this season. And like I said a minute ago, the spot is just way better, as this is going to be the 5th home game in their last 6 games for the Jazz. Like I said, they've played their best basketball there all season. I do lean in their direction. The exact opposite for the Atlanta Hawks, man, is this is going to be their 5th road game in their last 6 games. Don't really like the spot for them here in this one. They've only won 2 of their last 5 games. The Hawks have not hooped on the road, man. That's not where they play their best basketball. I do lean Jazz here in this one tonight, man. I really do. We've seen these two teams face off once this season, with the Jazz winning that game 125-119 on the 9th of November in Atlanta. This one's in Utah, where Utah plays its best basketball, man. I got to lean Utah here in this one. But I will say, kind of like I've been saying, man, those All-Star snubs, we got to watch those positions, man. Trae Young did not make the All-Star game. Could be a spot where we see him come out tonight, go crazy, man. It could be. Would I want to bet that happens? I wouldn't. I do still lean Jazz, as the spot's way better for them, and they played their best basketball at home all season. So, pretty good game. I'm excited to watch this. And my guy Louis Markkinen made the All-Star game. I'm excited for him, man. Hell of a season he's having, man. A lot of my guys that, I'm just excited for the younger guys that made the All-Star game, getting the recognition they deserve, and he was definitely one of them. Another guy that I think people coming into this season weren't really high on, not sure how good of a player he is. And he's kept his Jazz team right in the thick of everything, man. I think a lot of people coming into this season probably had this Jazz team as a lottery team. They definitely thought they were going to have a losing record, but at the All-Star break right now, man, 27-26. I think if you told the Jazz that at the beginning of the season, that this is where they were going to be at the midway point, I think they would be pretty happy with that. I do think they get a win here on their home floor, where they played their best basketball all season. It's going to be a good game to close out our night. But I do lean Jazz in our last and final one here to close out our night. And that's going to conclude today's episode on the Jam Session on February 3rd, 2023, man. Thank y'all for watching. Smash that like button for your guy, man. Subscribe if you're new, and drop y'all like down in the comments. As you know, I love going through, seeing who y'all like, man. My best bets can be found at Pickdawgz Premium. Follow me on Twitter at ParlayGuyJ. That's where I update y'all on late injury news, and if my mind changes due to late information coming out of the association, man. I also drop free plays over there for y'all. Free parlays every now and then, man. So I think I'm a great follow. Follow me over there. Let's make some money tonight, man. We got a decent card, 8 games. We want to smash it per usual. Start the weekend off on a high note, man, and continue to smash the weekends like we've done over the last month or so. So, yeah, let's try to do just that, man. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. I'll talk to y'all on Twitter. Talk to y'all in the comments, man, and I'll see y'all in the morning, man. I'm out. Peace.